Hello, my name's John and welcome to another video, another vlog. How are you? I hope you're well. This is another one of my batch that I'm doing to be spread out through whenever. Well, as you'll notice, I'm concentrating on my video film countdown at the moment. And this will be episode 6, I think. And this is sci-fi. There are some cult sci-fis that I could have mentioned in this. Some of them are, and some of them aren't. What this is mine anyway. You know, I'm not trying to be influenced by what other people like. I've gone for what I like myself, as you'll notice in one of them. One of them's quite controversial. A lot of people will say. So let's start. Number 1 is Star Trek. I am a huge Trekker, and that's Trekker, not Trekkie. Trekkie is what you call a Star Trek fan when you're taking the mick out of them. You know, the correct term is Trekker. You know, anyone who says Trekkie winds me up. You know, it's you know, a few people know me on here now, and they all like Star Trek, which is awesome. And we share a few conversations about the idealism of it and stuff, which is what I like about it. You know, it's the concept that the very concept that Earth actually is pulled together to live in peace and harmony, abolished famine, hunger, greed, monetary values and things like that. You know, it gives me real hope. At the moment I'm quite anti-humanity, but for me, you know, Gene Roddenberry's vision of a distant future, you know, I just love. The fact that we can put our differences aside to unite. But I think it's, I realise anyway, that I think it'll take quite a massive thing for humanity to do that. Something like an actual first contact, for example, if aliens do exist. I think it would set aside our differences and make us realise that we're not these different countries, that we are just a world. Stuff that, you know, to put our differences, like I say, people saying put our differences aside, do things for the greater good, not for our own individual gain. Another thing I think could change us would be if there was to be some kind of huge major disaster, as many kind of films do, like Deep Rising, like Deep Impact, Armageddon, you know, those kind of films. If a disaster on that kind of scale was to happen, I think the world would pull together to try and overcome it. Or at least I would like to think so, anyway. So that's why I like Star Trek. Oh, sorry about that again. Keep nudging the table. So yeah, that's why I like Star Trek, you know. I think they have some really cool toys and gadgets and stuff like that, some really cool inventions, some of which have come to light. Automatic doors only came to existence in the sense that we know them now because of Star Trek. Probably they existed thousands of years ago. It's come out in archaeology and stuff like that. But in the sense that we know them now, it's only come out because of Star Trek. Things like communicators, mobile phones, things like that. Again, they are all Star Trek inspired. So you know, it's a really cool thing to have around. So you know, we all owe a great debt to Gene Roddenberry. My second one, and this is the controversial one, is Star Wars Episode 1. Most people class the original trilogy as the best, but I find that too cheesy. I respect them in that they are groundbreaking films, they are good films if you're in the mood for it, but they're just a little bit too cheesy for me. Episode 1 for me is where it all becomes quite good. You know, I love the concept of force and people's faith in stuff like that, you know, these metaphorians and stuff like that. and becoming one with nature and joining the force. You know, that's what gave me my own personal belief. You know, I'm not a Christian, I'm not an atheist, I'm not agnostic or whatever it is. I'm not a Buddhist, not Sikh, nothing like that. I'm not religious in that sense. I wouldn't go to, if there was to be a Jedi or Sith temple, I wouldn't go to it. I just think it's a really cool idea to have in your mindset of, you know, a good way of confronting things. And I personally would rather, as you could probably imagine, I would personally rather be on the Sith side of things rather than the Jedi. You know, the Jedi seem to be, it's all well and good, but because of it, they only want to be interested in the good side of things. I think they're limited in what they can do, personally, whereas the Sith are more open to do things, you know. And I'm saying, you know, I think episode 1 is where it all comes together, you know. I like episode 2 and 3 as well. They're both really quite cool films. Revenge of the Sith, episode 3, you know, again, it is a very good film. You know, I love the whole final 20 minutes, half an hour, where Anakin decides to go from being a Jedi to joining the Sith. You know, I think that is just, you know, you can see his turmoil with coming to that decision, you know, but he does it for his own good reasons. You know, he doesn't do it for greed or anything like that. He does it for love, you know, which I think, you know, goes a long way to explain why Darth Vader is Darth Vader. You know, most people think of him as just a nasty person, but he once had good intentions, you know, so never mind. You know, so I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's that one. Part 3, number 3, is The Matrix, the first one. The second 2 were just cashing in on its popularity, I think. You know, they had some good effects and stuff, but it wasn't really as good as the first. You know, it was, for its time, it was such a groundbreaking film. The bullet time concept was amazing. You know, I love the technology that they used to do that. You know, I watched it on VHS when it came out, and it had a documentary that explained bullet time, and that was just amazing. I think it gets overused these days. You know, everyone seems to want to do it once it became popular. Yeah, the action sequences are quite good. You know, Agent Smith is a brilliant character. Again, Keanu Reeves, as I mentioned in a previous film vlog. You know, again, I think he plays quite a good part. You know, people should give him more credit. Again, the reason this is for the same reason that I mentioned in a previous one about technology. I think the whole concept of the Matrix, of it being this veil, this technological veil that machines have put over us because they've become so advanced that they overruled us and stuff like that. You know, I think that's just a brilliant concept. You know, the Wachowski brothers, you know, had a brilliant vision when it came to that. And again, it links into my fear about what technology could become. You know, I think it's we need to stop advancing it at some point before it becomes too much, because, you know, at some point there, you know, in us in the Matrix, you know, the machines realise that we are this how do I put it, we are a danger to ourselves, you know, so they decide that they're going to get rid of us and harvest us, you know, and I think that could very well happen. I think, you know, towards the end where Agent Smith is in the room with Morpheus and explaining his concept and idea of what the human race is, you know, as I've just mentioned, you know, I have quite a narrow opinion of the human race, and I think Agent Smith nailed it on the head, you know, about us being a virus, a plague, that is just trying to overrule the world, and you know, it explains that mammals are these creatures that oh dear, I'm a bit off it today. You know, mammals are normally these creatures that find a balance and equilibrium with its surroundings, you know, whereas humans, even though we're mammals, we don't. We seem to move on to place, take over it, move on to another, take over, and which is what a virus does, you know. So I love that idea, you know, find it comfortable, you know. So yeah, that's why I like that. And that, people, is my sci-fi films. As I said, I could have mentioned loads of films like Blade Runner, for example, Aliens, things like that. But they are cult films. But I think people like them not because of the quality of the film, but I think they like them because it's a cult film. You know, so it's you know, which is why I've not done it. You know, I've tried to keep it to films that I like for my own personal reasons. So yeah, I'll leave it there. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do, like, subscribe and stuff like that if you want to, comment. And I'll see you all in another video.